Many women have courageously spoken out about how they experience alienation and harassment in gaming.
Oh, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I need it.
Despite this fact, too many male gamers dismiss the issue as no big deal and insist that there isn't really a problem. One of the luxuries of being a member of a privileged group is that the benefits afforded to us often remain invisible to us. Working towards solutions requires that male gamers become aware of the ways in which we unconsciously benefit from sexism. We can't work to fix something unless we first understand its effects. With that in mind, the following is a checklist of some of the concrete benefits that male gamers automatically receive simply for being men.
Okay, so I was planning to do the whole shebang all at once, but it just got really exhausting. And kind of, I just lost patience with it. So I'm gonna have to split this response into two parts. And so here we go with the first half: 25 benefits of gaming while male.
I can choose to remain completely oblivious or indifferent to the harassment that many women face in gaming spaces.
Oblivious. Really? That's an odd thing to say because the harassment that many women face in gaming spaces is all I fucking hear about. Some of these women have even made careers out of it. And according to Anita Sarkeesian's booking agent, her fee for international speaking engagements is $5,000 plus travel and expenses. And harassment of women is just about all she talks about these days. Are you getting me? People pay her to talk about the harassment of women. People in the mainstream listen to and repeat everything she says verbatim without any investigation of her claims. And meanwhile, equally unlikable gaming personality Phil Fish was bombarded with enough abuse at the outset of Gamergate that he rage quit the industry, yet again, yet people like you dipshits only care about women getting harassed. Isn't that interesting? I mean, it's almost like you're trying to prove that you're big, strong, manly men, ready and willing to protect the delicate petals of online femininity from the ravages of untrammeled masculinity, overcompensating for your real or perceived lack of masculine status by casting women as more frail than they really are so you can feel strong and brave and macho in comparison? Think that might be it? And as far as indifferent goes, well, I don't see anyone, man or woman, who's indifferent to this topic. People like you are practically fapping to it, while the rest of us, the sane and well-adjusted of the world, who don't crumble the moment the universe doesn't pander to our every fucking insecurity, we just want these emotionally stunted women and their male enablers to shut the fuck up about it. That's not indifference, it's contempt.
I am never told that video games or the surrounding culture is not intended for me because I am male.
No, you're told by the surrounding culture that video games are made for you because you're an unattractive, immature, nerdy loser who can't get laid. He doesn't have anything better to do than waste his life playing video games because he's fat and he's lazy and he's immature and he's a Peter Pan and he can't get a woman. The surrounding culture tells you that gaming culture is for you because you're male, but not a real man. Or it tells you you're attracted to gaming because you have innate violent tendencies, you violent rapey bastards. At the same time, feminists tell you that gaming is for you because you're a misogynistic scumbag who wants to exclude women from the industry and the culture. Also, the fact that a large part of the industry panders to the interests, preferences, and tolerance levels of its primary consumer base is somehow hateful and unjust to women simply because that primary consumer base is mostly male.
I can publicly post my username, gamertag, or contact information online without having to fear being stalked or sexually harassed because of my gender.
Really? I notice you said stalked or sexually harassed because of my gender. I'm sure you put sexually in there because men also get harassed. In fact, the latest findings indicate that they get more abuse and harassment online than women do. It's just generally not going to be couched in that sexual context. Hey, do you know any women who've been swatted? I mean, I'm looking at the list on Wikipedia and wow, It's like the most amazing thing ever. There are 3 detailed examples just from this year of people from the video games industry getting swatted, 2 of which, at least, are men. On August 27, 2014, YouTube gaming celebrity Jordan Mathewson, known online as Kutra, live-streamed a game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive on Twitch. A viewer called 911 claiming there was a shooting in the building with hostages. A SWAT team raided the office that Mathewson's gaming company, The Creatures LLC, was operating out of. Mathewson was thrown to the ground and searched as officers searched the room. The events were broadcast live on the internet until law enforcement set the camera lens down on Mathewson's desk. Videos of the swatting went viral, gaining over 3 million views on YouTube and being reported on news programs all over the world. And the other, on September 11, 2014, Bucket programmer Wesley Wolf was the victim of a swatting incident. An unidentified Skype caller told police that Wolf had shot his parents and was on a killing spree. Wolf believed he was targeted in retaliation to his issuing of a DMCA takedown of Craft Bucket from the Bucket repository. You know, I'm seeing a lot of male names of victims on that page, and only one female one, Miley Cyrus. But hey, by all means, you go ahead and post your personal info online without fear. Your penis will obviously protect you. Idiot.
I will never be asked to prove my gaming cred simply because of my gender.
No, you won't be asked to prove your gaming cred because you're expected to be competent. And if you don't demonstrate you are, well, I'm sure we all know what will happen. Faggot. And also, my mother has a bigger dick than you, and I really enjoyed fucking your sister.
If I enthusiastically express my fondness for video games, no one will automatically assume I'm faking my interest just to get attention from other gamers.
With women, it's a little different. They can get away with being less competent than is expected of men as long as they're not cunty about it. Not many women are genuinely interested in AAA games, and a fair number of women fake an interest for male attention and approval. So any woman disclosing such an interest may indeed have to initially demonstrate she's being sincere. For women who are sincere, this isn't really difficult to do. For women like Anita Sarkeesian, who publicly claimed she thought games were gross and didn't like them, well, there you go. And whose fault is that? The fault of men who've encountered women who have feigned an interest in video games in order to get attention from male gamers, or the originally well-intentioned guys who've been duped one too many times? You know, you guys are like Zerlina Maxwell, who, after the University of Virginia gothic novel of a rape host began to unravel, wrote a piece in a major paper asserting that women who make claims of rape should automatically be believed, even though some of them lie. Or maybe you'll understand it if I put it in feminist terms. To the average male gamer, every girl gamer is Schrodinger's attention whore.
I can look at practically any gaming website, show, or magazine and see the voices of people of my own gender widely represented.
And this is a privilege how? I mean, let's break it down with an analogy. There's a panel of politicians and experts who are going to decide if abortion should remain legal in the U.S. Who would you rather have making that decision? Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Al Franken? Or Michelle Bachmann, Ann Coulter, and Sarah Palin? I mean, look at you douchebags. Do you think the men active in Gamergate really believe you're representing their voices? Do you think opinions and points of view are determined by someone's genitals? How very reductionist of you.
When I go to a gaming event or convention, I can be relatively certain that I won't be harassed, groped, propositioned, or catcalled by total strangers.
Wow. You might want to have a chat with a male cosplayer sometime, because some of them routinely get their junk grabbed and their chests caressed and their asses slapped by random women who seem to think it's perfectly fine to do that when the cosplayer is an attractive dude. I mean, it's almost as if just because men don't constantly whine about stuff like this, it's completely invisible to you. If no one's complaining endlessly about a problem and demanding the entire world pay attention to it, then that problem just doesn't exist for you. Unless, of course, you do know this kind of thing happens to guys too, but it's somehow different. In which case, you're just a bunch of hypocrites.
I will never be asked or expected to speak for all other gamers who share my gender.
Okay, just give me a second. Just give me... Uh, Okay. All right. I'm going to break this down so that a toddler could understand it. Okay? Even my dog might be able to understand what I'm saying here. You are currently participating in a video in which you were asked to speak for all male gamers about the benefits of gaming while male. This video is full of absolute statements. I will never be this. I will never be that. In this video, where a bunch of men have been asked to speak for all male gamers about things that they will never experience or have to experience, you have the temerity to claim that you will never be asked to speak for all male gamers. Excuse me. Okay. Just FYI. I hear Velcro shoes can really help the mentally disadvantaged work around those confusing laces and stuff. Just a pro tip for any of you guys who might be having problems with your own colossal stupidity. I'm here to help. On the other hand, who the fuck asked Anita Sarkeesian to speak on behalf of all female gamers? It certainly wasn't me. I mean, oh my goodness. Who was it? It was feminists who asked her to do that. And when a bunch of women and minorities launched a hashtag campaign claiming people like her do not speak for people like me, they get accused of being sock puppets. So basically, what you're saying... Sorry. Oh. Just 1 second. Okay. Basically, what you're saying is that men will never be asked to do something you are currently doing right now on request. And that a feminist woman being asked by other feminists to presumptuously speak on behalf of all women is an injustice done to that feminist woman. So here's another pro tip. If you think what you yourselves are doing to people like Anita Sarkeesian is somehow unjust, then just stop doing it. Believe me, we'll all be grateful if you do.
I can be sure that my gaming performance, good or bad, won't be attributed to or reflect on my gender as a whole.
Again, men aren't allowed to be incompetent, while women are allowed some level of incompetence as long as they're a decent human being with a genuine interest in gaming. Both of these situations place expectations on someone regarding their gender and how it relates to their performance. It's interesting. Feminists talk a lot about how men are considered the default setting and how damaging that is. Yet here you are doing that very thing. I mean, you somehow are able to wrap your head around the idea that women are treated differently as a result of their gender, while simultaneously implying that men are not treated differently based on their gender. Maybe you should launch a federal lawsuit against the Department of Education for bunging things up with you guys this badly.
My gaming ability will never be called into question based on unrelated natural biological functions.
Are we talking about periods here? Is that what we're talking about? Is it? It is, isn't it? You know, because that's pretty rich, since like PMS, PMDD, and postpartum depression have all been used by defense counsel in criminal trials of women accused of violence and even homicide, right? You know that, right? And oddly enough, it's often feminists who defend this practice and think it's A-okay. So, according to feminists, if you drown your kids in a bathtub, you can go ahead and blame it on a natural biological function. But if you suck at a video game, don't anyone dare suggest it might have anything to do with a woman's hormone cycle. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I can be relatively sure my thoughts about video games won't be dismissed or attacked based solely on my tone of voice, even if I speak in an aggressive, obnoxious, crude, or flippant manner.
You know what? Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Are you taking me seriously now, or are you just, like, disregarding everything I have to say because I'm being cunty about it? The worst thing that happens when a woman gets verbally aggressive is she gets called a bitch and people don't listen to her bullshit. The worst thing that happens to a man when he gets verbally aggressive is he gets the shit beat out of him or he gets himself arrested. Fuck's sake, a guy can't even wear a cool shirt without being accused of attacking women. I mean, are you actually a guy? Serious question. And no, I'm not trying to pussy shame you. It's just you seem completely detached from and oblivious to the typical experience of men in this culture. Right? I mean, you're claiming to speak as a man, and yet you're speaking about experiences no man is familiar with. So just do me a favor. Just do me, like right now, just check your junk, just to make sure. I'll wait.
I can openly say that my favorite games are casual, odd, non-violent, artistic, or cute, without fear that my opinions will reinforce a stereotype that men are not real gamers.
Oh my goodness, you won't be reinforcing a stereotype that men are not real gamers. You might, however, be told that you're not a real gamer and perhaps that you're not a real man. I mean, let's again deconstruct this. Women are not real gamers. It's interesting how that stereotype allows for some exceptions. Like, I don't think there's any hardcore gamer who doesn't know of some woman somewhere that is a real gamer, even if women in general don't tend to be. Are those women told they're not real gamers? You know, the ones who are and who demonstrate it? The ones who defy the stereotype? Are they punished for defying the stereotype? Are they appreciated in ways that a professional whiner like Anita Sarkeesian, who thinks games are gross but wants to dictate to the community what they're allowed to like and not like, you know, the way that they're not appreciated? Do they ever get told that because they like games, they're not real women? Do they? Really? And also, I'm just going to say, and try not to take this personally, I'm just hoping that that's a Movember mustache. Because, you know, if it is, good on you, and credit where it's due and all that, and you're doing a good thing for a good cause. But if it's not... Anyhow, that's all I can stand for today. I mean, I don't even know how these people function. Some of the things that they say are directly contradicted by the fact that they're saying them in this context, and that is absolutely, it's mind-boggling. It really, really fucking is. And I just want to say, I don't think that these men speak for most men. They certainly don't speak in my interest. And if they think that they do, they can really just go fuck themselves. Anyhow, that's it for me for today. And I guess I'll subject myself to the rest of it after I buy some more vodka.